Hi, I'm Mariana Palmer, author, Imagineer, and crazy out of control loser. Okay, so I wanted to sit down and talk about my history, my history with self-publishing and social anxiety disorder, sad, bad, whatever. But I have just want to tell you my journey, and so it's been a really long one. So I'll just start with, I guess I'll start with the beginning. I have been away from people since I was 15 years old. I was really scared I hated going to school. I didn't want to go. I was terrified of everything in it. So then I got on disability, and me and my sister went away from the world, never talked to anybody, never looked at anybody, stayed inside our house, just staying there, never going out, never seeing people. So I grew from 15 to like 30 without talking to any stranger at all, except for like how you do, have a nice day. And if they went off that pre-programmed phrase, my mind. So I always dreamed of being a writer, but I never thought I could until my sister one day said, "You know what? I think you can do it. So sit down and write." I was like, "Esther, please, I don't want to write. I don't know how to put sentences together. That's terrifying." And she just looked at me. She could kill her from 1,000 yards with that stare. So I said, fine, I gave it a shot, and I fell in love. I just fell in love. It was the best way I could interact with the world, because me and my sister were the only ones in it. There was nothing else. So I started with something called Semester. Semester. I put it in a binder because I'm special. See? I had no idea what paragraphs were. I had no idea what grammar was. I had no idea. I was 21 years of age when I wrote this. And so then it was that was Semester. So I thought about being published, but I thought there's no way anybody wants to read my stories, so just give it up. So I just moved on again, staying away from everybody, not talking to anybody, barely even leaving my house, because I didn't do that. I went to get my food and I went back home again. I never left. I never did anything. I never talked to people as much as I possibly could. And even now, right now, after all these years, when I'm thinking I'm getting better, I still am shaking doing this. Can you see? I'm not sure you can tell. Shaking fingers, shaking. Okay, I'll stop it. But so I was laying in bed one night just thinking. I was trying to get to sleep. Sometimes I have problems sleeping. So I was just thinking, it would be nice to have a mail truck drive up and have this bag of letters from me, from my fans. And then I was like, what fans? I have nothing. So I was like, what if I got published? Then I might have fans. Okay, so I was just like, okay. And then seconds later, bam! This noise. It was like a sign from the gods telling me, you idiot, you should never get published. So I was like, still want to. So I started with the idea of publishing, thinking about it, and I started saying, okay, I'll just finish this story I'll rewrite this story that I'm on. Semester. It was basically this much when I started thinking maybe I'll rewrite it and so I could send it off. So, not knowing what I was doing, nothing at all, I waited a few months, got it all finished and polished up, and found out. Okay, back. Okay, so I was ready, got my inquiry letter. That's what I thought it was called, inquiry letter. So got it ready, thought, this is stupid. Do you want to hear my original query letter? Okay, but you asked for it. Okay, I can't find it. So what I'm going to do is cut to me and my sister reading the query letter out loud. See, the thing is, our identity is so tied together. You're going to see us say it's our book and our names are both on it. I was the one that wrote it, but we talk about it all the time. All the stories come together, and we've just felt like we were one person always. So we're trying to separate a little bit, not feeling like we're just one person always. We're still very close, and I still love her, but I just don't want to be, my name is Esther Palmer. So, yeah, so here it is.
This is the queer letter we sent off today. You want to hear it? Okay, Mariana Palmer, Esther Palmer. Dear Sir or Madam, hello, my name is Mariana and this is my sister Esther. Okay. That was she. We are team writers and we were thinking of sending our manuscript to you. We need to know what your guidelines are. First I'll tell you about our manuscript. Its title is Semester and it's a fantasy based in New York. A 25-year-old woman lives there named Susan Lane. She's normal life with an annoying meddling neighbor. Jimmy's gonna better have a Susan, Kate chided. I don't drink, Susan said. Denial of the first taste hearing. She also has a job because she's far from being 10 minutes late. Kate ropes her into a date. Then some mysterious things start happening, like a near accident on a motorcycle with a dangerous man in a black car, someone framing her at a museum for a theft of a foreign item in Pandora's box, and when she comes to her apartment, a break-in. The smoke started clearing and Susan saw him, a figure shrouded in a dark cloak. She glanced up and Susan found herself staring deep into this monster's eyes. Red eyes with deep spirals of hell staring into her soul. Finally, you hear Susan one. I've been waiting a long time for this, in a measured tone. Hidden venom seeped out of his voice as he talked. Hatred burned out of his eyes. It was aimed at her. He raised his hands, and for some reason, Susan's instincts told her to run. He was going to something horrible with those hands, and she didn't want to see what. The man who attacked her turns out to be someone named Sepul, a servant of Darkshire, the evil master of shadows. He sent him to kill her. A man named Talon saves her and brings her to the world Tesda. We informed her that she doesn't destroy Darkshire. Her true name is Semester. He also tells her that she has powers of her own. She's hesitant at first, but to believe in herself. A few adventures happen on the way. Attacked by her shapeshifter or her sister, a battle between her and some living armor, and some half-man, half-spider allies help to liven up Smith's life. In the end, with a new ally, she defeats Darkshire and brings peace to Tesda. So that's basically the gist of it. This is our first novel. We have a few quick questions. How many words do you require? What's your format? And what are your guidelines? You can send us ASE for your reply. Thank you for your time and consideration. Respectfully, Mariana and Esther Palmer. What do you think? I like it.
So that was the first queer letter I wrote, and we wrote. I don't know. We were working on it together. I was typing it. I always typed it. I always wrote all the words. Always. We talk about it and look at the story together. Always. It's complicated. Where was I? Oh yeah, going off on a tangent. Okay, so that was the first query letter, so I sent it off, and I got this book that said, you can, here's some names, but they will not take anything except with an agent. And I was like, what's an agent? I don't know. I'm sure they'll take it. So we sent it off. So 6 query letters, I think. Oh, it's the same query letters, say to those people. We got 4 back that said we don't take submissions without an agent. Like, why? That makes no sense. So we got very, very, very depressed and said, okay, there's no more publishing. There's nothing. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. It's never going to work for us. That was a sign. We should not get published. So then we was going along, living our lives, again, staying in our house, not going out, not talking to anybody, not looking at anybody. We were too scared. We had way too much anxiety to look at people and talk to people. So we were in our house, just ignoring the world existed, just living. So, by the next year, we got a letter back from one of those queries, and it wasn't just a, hey, you need an agent, and we're like, oh, it's a sign! We should get published! Yes! So we went into it again, and I should say I, because I need to separate a little, I'm so used to we. Okay, that's too weird. I'll tell you why when I started writing all the books by myself. So we put another query letter and saw the fact that we could send it to Da Fantasy because it was Semester and it was a lot bigger and thicker. It was like 130,000 at this time. So we said we'll send it to Da. And I don't know what it's called, Da Books. I don't know exactly. But so we sent it to them, and I realized I had no light, so maybe it seemed a little brighter. I forgot to put the lights up. Yeah. So back to the story. So we had sent it off to Da. We were so excited. We were just like counting it, thinking it's gonna work. We're gonna make it. Yay! Yay! We were so excited. We're thrilled. We celebrated with a cake. We just were like, yeah. Then the letter came back and said, nope, sorry. Cue Rachel screams. Yeah. So we were so upset. I mean, we had no clue what we were doing. So it really hurt. So it hurt so bad that we didn't even try to get published for 4 more years. We just ignored it. Again, just went back into our little shell and just ignored it. So then in 2010, a big thing happened where, well, it's a long story, but my mother left my father because of a lifelong abusive relationship, but not lifelong, but a long. So I started thinking, I'd like a future. I would like to her moving. Just made me feel like I need to do something. So I started sending things off again. Semester again. Are you surprised? I am. Okay, I'm not. I knew the story. So she moved to Forks, Washington. Why, you ask? She fell in love with Twilight. Now, I had no idea what that book was. I had no clue what Forks, Washington was. I had no clue what Twilight was at all. But she moved there, and then she was alone, and I didn't want her to be alone. But me and my sister said, okay, we'll pack up everything and go. Even though we're scared of leaving our house at all, we'll move. So we moved from New Mexico to Washington. Drove 14 hours in one day. And it was good. So there, we just kind of started taking care of our mother and such, and we didn't really have a lot of time to send anything off or try to get published, not really. So, and besides, the semester was terrible. I mean, it was just terrible. It was, terrible. Like, you get that point. It's terrible. So, this was just sitting on our shelves thinking we thought was awesome. It was the best book ever, and we just loved it. So we just kind of ignored it, and then events started changing where we kind of went back to school. And that was terrifying. And then after our mother died, we were kind of lost and didn't know what to do. And, okay, that's not part of the story much, but, so then we decided to go to university after going to a community college, and I'm sorry. I'm nervous. Okay, so in the University of Washington, we started wanting to get published again, and it was still we. So we put together a book called No Trespassing about Gina Daniels, a troll girl. And so that was where, that's not, okay, we wrote that, but then we went back to Semester. We really loved Semester. So we decided to self-publish it because, so, comeback thought. Okay, so we decided that I'm not going to send it off again and get rejected. That hurts too much, so we're going to self-publish it. So we self-published it with CreateSpace, and this is it. This is it. And for your amusement, I will read to you a sentence. This day could end very badly, and if it did, she may never again see any of the people she looked at right now, except in Hedda Hounder. She shivered a bit, but covered up as the gods finally joined the group, their diamond-checkered armor filling the area with black and white with like helmets on top. That was one of the less bloated sentences. So it was just, it was terrible. And we found out pretty quickly how ridiculously bad it was. Okay, I wouldn't say it was ridiculously bad. I say it's ridiculously really bad. Bad. It's terrible. So I wasn't sure about self-publishing at all because, again, it hurt every single time and that it didn't work. But still, we still had that dream, so we decided to write, like I said, no trespassing. No trespassing. Gina Daniels. See, this is Mariana Palmer. It had M.E. Palmer. Mariana and Esther Palmer. That was on the book before, but now, like I said, we were trying to get identity away from each other instead of just being one person. So, it's just, now it's in Mariana Palmer. But about a troll girl who went to school. School for monsters, and she fought heroes who were jerks. And so that was that started the process, and then it's, well, writing and publishing it and being successful takes marketing. Now, when I first heard the word marketing, I was like, what the heck is marketing? I had no clue, and to this day, I'm a little shaky. So it didn't go anywhere. So, again, he got very depressed, moved on, said, it's not going to work, it's never going to work. So, we still wrote books and still published them, I'm going to make a mess here. Got some hardcovers, No Trespassing, and then we got Watch for Falling Rocks, the second book, and then we got the Do Not Disturb, and it's the third book, and then we got Danger Back, which is the fourth book, and then we started realizing that we didn't want to be lumped together, and so I just decided to take my name and take my books and write, and show that I was writing them. So, there. That's not the end. So I moved on, and we still kept on publishing books, but we didn't sell anything. There was nothing, and it felt pretty much cursed. We went to this indie author day where the previous year they got 86 people, and the year we went, nothing, zero, nobody. It was a sign we weren't supposed to get published. So we cried our eyes out that night, and moved on, said, okay, it's not meant to be. And then after a long period of time, I finally was about to just give up, and my last book was going to be Savage Tear, but then I decided, nah, I'm not gonna give up yet. So then I decided to write something called Burn the Same. And look, I have it, Burn the Same. And I sent it to Red Empress Publishing, and they accepted me. Cue the joyful laughing. Yes. So that gave me courage to keep going, and even though I have to write every single day, or it just bugs me if I don't write every single day. So I was just writing, piling it by pile. I was like, I'll self-publish too, because, hey, why not? So I wrote, everything's a mess. Empty Beach this year, and published it, and then I went on to Professor Zippo and the Dream Rider, and then I went on to Savage Tear, and then I went on to Lonely Tear, and that was all published for basically at the same time that Burn the Same was coming out. So okay, so making a mess. I decided to come out with the prequel of Semester, because I still really love this mythos, and so I came out with its prequel called Shadows of an Angry God. I have a big character in this book, and this now will be the third book, because I've got this one going, and I'm writing right now on a Sepal. Not Sepal, it's called Sepal. I used to call them all by their names. Semester, Sepal, and Dertugia. Now it's Shadows of Angry God, Shadows of Emperor, and I don't know what the third one's going to be called. That's going to be Semester. Semester's going to change to Shadows of a... So that's where I am now, but I still have fear of everything, interacting with people, dealing with people. I try to go on and market and do things like this, and every single day it's terror, and I'm like, I can't do this. Sometimes it just like shoves me under, and I can't do anything for days, weeks, and then I try to get back to it, but yeah, you kind of have to be a lot more involved with social media, so I don't think I'm making it. That's okay. I have fun. I love doing this, and I love designing these covers. I love designing these covers. I love these covers. And I just love these covers. They're like little pieces of art. So that's where I am, and I'm glad I could talk to you and tell you about this, and I hope you enjoyed, and okay, I guess bye. I also decided that Shadows of Angry God is not the best looking I could do, because it just, to me it felt like it was more YA, and this is adult fantasy. So, and the series is adult fantasy, so I decided to do this one, and hopefully it fits into the setting more. What do you think? again. Bye.